Hello dear viewers! One of my first videos on buying used miniatures included this model, and then I mentioned that there will come a time for rescuing all the 3 miniatures from the clip. I think it is time for the first one. As stated in the aforementioned clip, I will not take the paint off him and use the colors he has to my advantage. As always, when pondering on what should I do with a model, I try to get some sort of inspiration online. Nurgle, be it marines, poxwalkers, demons, etc, are the equivalent of greens and browns. This palette is safe and easy. It had to be a quick job for me, because I wanted to speed up my video production and catch up on the time I lost with the previous models. There was no specific plan in mind, as I think I am incapable of fully sticking to an agenda. Some inspiration was needed though. Where to look for it if not in my favorite palette cleanser? I also have somewhat of an interesting idea. My Patreon is set up and I want to reward any person that will sign up. I will paint many plastic minis from now on, and the first 10 people to sign up for my Patreon, that is listed in the video description, who will be willing to cover the shipping costs will get a miniature from my eBay page, also listed in the video. After the first 10 people get their rewards, I will mention in which videos I will paint for my Patreons. And then there will be a model draw, where the one person will be able to get a model I painted during the videos. Sign up for the Patreon, subscribe. There will be more minis to win and prizes from my side. I have a lot of acrylic inks and even more that I would like to buy. Before doing it though, I need to get a basic grasp of using them. The advantage as stated in the name is that they are acrylic in their form and liquidy as inks should be. Perfect as the base paints, highlights or shadows. Ideal for the airbrush. If you want a vibrant color, you don't even need to dilute them. Straight from the pot is what I have done here. The downside is that they are very satin or even glossy in some examples. Mixing them is always a good idea. It develops a lot of skills that I didn't even know that I needed. At this point I was just covering some points that will have different colors with a black paint. It is especially important before using metallic paints, as they will have a different shade depending on the paint under them. Black is my go-to option. The highlights look okay, but there is never enough of them. Therefore I opted to do 2 more using mood green and a yellow paint mixed into it.
About you, they get worse when I'm without you. Does that mean that I'm going to hell?
After the metallics and some more details, I started going for the bones. Literally. There are a million ways of painting them, but it all comes to correct color placement.
In the fantasy, it's so convincing. I shouldn't think the things I'm thinking, but now I've gonna let them sink in. The more that I push them away, the more that you're stuck in my brain, the more I mentally undress. I confess, I get dirty thoughts about you. They get worse when I'm without you. Does that mean that I'm going to hell? Or are you thinking them as well?
This is the problem while painting such detailed miniatures. How far can you go? One more detail here, a highlight more there, a dark shadow there. The saying less is more is very appropriate here. Edge highlights, though, are a must and allow our eyes to distinguish between plates of armor. The thing worth mentioning is that you don't have to do them using an off-white or even a white. I used green and yellow for the armor and gold and silver for the metallic parts. There are times when I break and paint over the previous layer that would probably save me a lot of time. Metallic NMM here was totally optional, but I just knew I wanted to incorporate it somewhere. Not many things were left. The plasma glow on the plasma rifle will be done using a fluo paint, and it needs a white paint under. I also painted some points on the armor that would be covered with the white paint to reflect the light coming from the rifle. As mentioned previously, the inks can be glossy, and some matte varnish had to be used before going to the last step. What I am doing here is mixing paint with UV resin. This will give me a nice slime effect and will harden in 30 seconds under a UV torch. The old model and now the new version. I had lots of fun with it, a little bit of experimenting and some lessons learned. What do you guys think? I will really appreciate a comment. And don't forget to share, like and subscribe, and see you in the next video.